what helped me take the leap once I realized the corporate life, the career, the well-paying, comfortable job and life I was in was not my life, wasn't it. And I realized what was my purpose, what was my calling, what was the thing I wanted to pursue. And also, but also what was my core value, which is freedom, and the fact that I wanted my life to align and reorganize and recalibrate around that. Even the freedom to choose how many vacation days I will take per year, when, how long I would go on a holiday and take a break, PTO time, holiday time, all of that. The freedom to just choose, the freedom to wake up in the morning and make it a slow morning, the freedom to take Monday off instead of Saturday and Sunday, the freedom to take a slower week, to take days when I have my period just for rest, just to follow a more self-honoring, natural cycle and rules for productivity that match who I am and how I'm built. I knew that wasn't the life I wanted. So things that helped me take the leap were absolutely getting clear on my non-negotiable. Freedom was non-negotiable to me. And when I'm inside something, environment, situation that where I feel I don't have that freedom, I know I need to get out. I know it's not sustainable for me long term. I know because eventually I'm going to resent it. It's going to get frustrating. I'm not going to give my best because I lose interest, because I'm not interested in something where I don't feel expansive, where I don't feel I can take space and make choices that align with where I want to be, who I want to be, what I'm here to build. And of course, once I took the leap, I realized there were many more flavors of freedom that I wasn't tapping into. Taking up space, creatively, even making choices, in your own business, being the one who calls the shots, taking that kind of responsibility, which is scary and exciting at the same time. Just the freedom to be more myself, to say no to clients that don't feel aligned, to projects, to platforms, to kind of content, to messaging, to offers, to pricing that doesn't feel aligned. That kind of freedom is liberating, of course. And what helped me was that, getting super clear on that. And I have to say, here's the second thing, and then I will add to that. The second thing is, once you know your core value, it's going to be easier to identify the thing you want to build. Maybe career change, company change, negotiating different working hours, working schedule, responsibilities, roles inside the same company, changing department, changing career altogether, or starting. That's what I did, starting your own business. And figuring out what you're actually here to do. Even as someone that never believed I was here to become an entrepreneur, a solo business owner, and then you find your own thing, you discover your own thing, and all of a sudden you want to become one. You want the responsibility that comes with it, because the thing that comes with it is bigger. It's your greatest desire. So you're willing to take on the responsibility. When I was working in creative direction, I didn't want more responsibilities because I knew that would cost me freedom. I knew that would come at the cost of the thing I wanted most and I needed most. So I was rejecting as much as possible. And the moment it started to grow, I made it clear internally and externally, it wasn't for me. So what happened is, so number two is make the thing you want emotionally bigger than the thing you're scared of. That's how you overcome the fear that's preventing you. The thing you want needs to become emotionally bigger. You need to tap into that desire. You need to feel it. You need to expand it. You need to amplify it. Find a way to make it bigger than the fear. So you know you're going to make a choice that's aligned with where you want to go, who you want to be, and what you want to build, and how you want to serve. Because chances are you want to serve people, you want to support people. And for me, what happened is that right before COVID, was it the year before? I can't remember. COVID years very blurry to me. But maybe the year before, what happened is that the creative director in the company I was working at, where I was working with at the time, left. And the company, the founder, which amazing lady from Hong Kong, like the embodiment of a Zen person, peaceful, easeful, like I loved her. I have such good memories. She made it very clear she wanted me to step up. She wanted me to. The time I was the director of the R&D department, and I had my own team where we were basically setting the standards, the creative standards for the company. This is what we're doing next. This is where we're going next. This is our branding. This is it. This is who we are and how we're creating and what we're creating. But she made it very clear she wanted me to step up and take on more responsibilities. And I was very happy already with financially, and it was a very well-paying job. It gave me back satisfaction, like work-wise, but I was happy not having more responsibilities because I had my Fridays and Sundays and Sunday off to get on a plane and go to Thailand and just travel across Southeast Asia. I was working in Shanghai at the time, so it was close to island paradises. And that was more important to me than just climbing the corporate ladder. That became very clear the moment I realized that climbing that ladder would cost me more freedom, the thing I'm after. So figure out your thing. I knew I was a no. So I made it clear this wasn't a super explicit request for me to step up. And it wasn't from my side an explicit no, but we kind of like danced around the idea, and they got the idea, I got the idea, and we kind of recalibrated around that. From there, then COVID came, and there was a renegotiation of my working hours, of my salary. I was happily stepping down, actually, and I was going in a direction that probably was the opposite the company wished for, because they wanted me to stay there long term. They've always expressed out loud, told me, and even contractually, they wanted to hold on to me. They wanted to keep me working for as many years as possible. And the moment they realized I wasn't there for the long game, something kind of broke. And I knew either I was soon going to quit, or they were soon going to, like, there was a very, like a renegotiation where I was stepping down and then working remotely, and then just working a few days per month. And eventually it's just kind of organically, yes, I was laid off and the contract just ended like that. And honestly, I was happy about it. Not the timing I wished for, because I was hoping to keep adding to my financial cushion, because I didn't know how long it would take for my business to take off. Also, I didn't know how many times I would pivot that would slow me down, but that I needed. I needed to make those pivots eventually, even if I realized it was kind of a, I talked about this in a couple more videos where I explain how I needed to pivot that many times, but also there was a pattern that was holding me back and slowing me down, and a way I was avoiding success. But I wanted to hold onto that secure, stable job and financial anchor for a little longer, just to feel a little bit more comfy, you know? I had enough already. I felt I had enough, so I wasn't super worried. But it was faster. COVID accelerated things, and it happened faster than I wanted. And also, in China, and if you're an expat working abroad, your your residence permit is linked and reliant on your working permit. So if you don't have a job, you're out, or you better find another job. And for me, it was very clear I wasn't going to find another job in corporate. I was not interested in pursuing in that career and just keep going that route. It was clear that was a breaking point. That was a moment, all right, I'm out of corporate life. And this is where I start building my own business. Look at me. Scary, excited, all the things. But the push from life, COVID specifically, and what came with that helped. That's one of the things that helped. And yes, we were already, I say we were because we co created that with the company, setting the expectation for what was to come. Eventually, we were both clear that I was going to leave, but I had already expressed that I wanted to be able to work remotely from other countries around Southeast Asia. We knew that, but COVID kind of snapped its fingers and we're like, all right, this happens now. And I was like, oh, I wasn't prepared. And who knows if I would have kept waiting, how long I would have kept waiting and staying in that job. I don't know. I can say that universe, God kind of helped me, like gave me a push. I was standing at the edge of that leap. I knew I wanted to take the leap. The path ahead was clear, and universe kind of gave me the push. And I think because I believe we're co-creators, I kind of helped set the stage for universe to get me the push, kind of asked for it. I asked for it. I wanted it. So perhaps how can you apply that? How can you translate that? How can we translate that? I guess it's trusting that once you get clear and you start taking action aligned with what you want and what you want to create, the future, the life, the business you want to build, life will meet you halfway. You don't have to do everything alone. There is support around. And you get to trust that and tap into that. And it's kind of beautiful how, even if in the moment it might feel like, oh, this is awful timing. I wish it was different. It were different. I wish this happened more slowly. I wish I had saved more. I wish this and that. But in hindsight, it will make sense. There is taking the leap. There is a level of trust you need to tap into you haven't discovered yet. It asks more trust out of you. More trust you've, what's the verb? What's the word here? Trust you didn't realize you had in yourself, in life, in what you're capable of, and what's possible. And it's like you are a visionary because you're seeing something that isn't there. And you gotta trust that once you take the leap, there's gonna be ground under your feet supporting you. You're gonna actually be able to build the thing you already can feel, can see, the thing that's calling you. And, this might be not your experience, not your belief, but this is how I lead my life. Some people it's reckless. Some people, they say that they could never do it. But I believe that's what carries me. I believe that if something is calling you, your job is to listen. If something is calling you, you already have proof that is yours. That's it. That's what guides me. That's how I take my leaps of faith. That's how I tap into courage, even when it's scary, even when I had zero certainty that it's going to work out. And also, I've built enough evidence that I can afford to get it wrong. I'm not going to die. I have support. I am resourceful. Beyond that, I'm a resourceful person. I will figure it out. I will make it work. I will find my way. Look back. There's another thing you can do. Look back at your life at all the times that things didn't go according to plan, but somehow it still worked out. You still found your way through. You still left with something invaluable, a lesson, experience, something you didn't know you needed. I think when anytime there's a detour or something unexpected, unplanned, you didn't pray for, you didn't wish for, or wish didn't happen, there's always something you needed to go through that you needed to enter your next chapter, your next season, and step into the next level of the life of yourself that you're building, that you're creating literally right now. Every choice you make feels like the song from Police. Every breath you take, every choice you make, now I can get the song out of my head. Every choice you make, even if it feels far from the thing you're building, it's actually already leading you to the thing. So it's very important. Celebrate every little courageous step you take, every little brave decision that you make, every request, every time you choose what's yours, what you know to be yours, what you feel to be yours over something you carried, a way of choosing, of operating that doesn't belong to you or doesn't fit you anymore, perhaps never fit you. That's a win. That's worth celebrating. That's a step toward the life you want. And how beautiful. In this very moment, you're already shaping your next leap, your next season, your next chapter. You're continuously shaping what's next by the way you show up in every moment. Focus on all the evidence you've gathered over the years that you can do it, that you're capable, that you know enough. That's what's calling you. There's a reason that's calling you. Look at all the ways you're capable, at all the ways you actually succeeded. Use that to build yourself up, build that trust, that extra trust you need to step into that next level, to make that leap into your new career, starting your new business, your first business, becoming the person you know you're here for. And if something, I'm going to end it with this. If something's calling you, man, I hope you listen. I hope you listen. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't know, if you're new here, my name is Marina. I make videos daily to remind you that the life you desire, the life that's calling you, the leap that's calling you, it's just one leap of courage away. I hope you take it.